I'm Liyana Hassanel, and this is Nightline, the top stories. New legislation on federal statutory bodies' governance to be introduced to enhance the efficiency of public service delivery. And 8 arrested over protection for Alibaba-type businesses. Good morning. In a bid to enhance the efficiency of public service delivery, a new piece of legislation to govern federal statutory bodies, BBP, and their subsidiaries will be introduced. According to the Prime Minister's office, the move is among 7 initiatives the government is taking to strengthen governance and legal reform. The PMO in a statement on Wednesday said the legislation aims to strengthen the legal governance of BBP, emphasizing aspects such as loans, investments, and the establishment of subsidiaries. The decision was reached during the meeting of the Special Cabinet Committee on National Governance recently, chaired by Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim, as part of efforts to enhance the efficiency of public service delivery. The meeting also decided to form a task force under the Enforcement Agency Integrity Commission, EAIC, to implement the recommendations of the committee on review of deaths in custody. According to the statement, it relates to aspects of enhancing legislation, standard operating procedures, and infrastructure to be scrutinized by the respective regulatory entities and implemented by enforcement agencies under their respective jurisdiction. The meeting also decided on the drafting of the Freedom of Information Bill to provide the public with access to information from public and government bodies, adding that it is to ensure the improvement of public service delivery through citizen involvement in the national policy-making process in line with the National Anti-Corruption Strategies, NACS. The PMO added that the Government Procurement Bill will also be prepared to establish a mechanism for complaints and objections following international standards to strengthen the governance of government procurement in line with the NACS. The statement also mentioned that since the launch of NACS on May 7th this year, 60 national sub-strategies have been introduced, demonstrating the government's determination and commitment to combating corruption. Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim wants 100 young scientists to hold talks in 100 schools to spur students' interest in science, technology, engineering and mathematics, STEM. The Prime Minister called for a list of 100 suitable scientists to be drawn up as he was concerned by the lack of interest in STEM subjects, as well as the growing divide between urban and rural schools in this area. Speaking at the launching of the National Bioeconomy Showcase 2024 in Kuala Lumpur on Wednesday, Anwar said the lack of interest in STEM should be tackled through a multi-ministry approach that also involves the private sector.
Jadi kalau boleh lah umpamanya ada 100 orang saintis dan biotek dari agensi, dari kementerian, dari syarikat-syarikat. Sebulan sekali 2 jam, 3 jam turun ke sekolah menengah dan berikan sedikit pendedahan. Saudara boleh bayangkan manfaat yang sangat besar kepada anak-anak kita.
Anwar told Science, Technology and Innovation Minister Chang Lee Kang, who will lead the initiative, to prepare a list of scientists and schools in 2 weeks. The Prime Minister also announced an additional 2 million ringgit for the Bio-Based Accelerator BBA program. He added that part of the allocation could be used to organize the young scientists' talks in schools. On another matter, Anwar revealed that he will meet with the family of the late Teo Beng Hawk next week. He said he was unable to do so earlier as he was busy with preparations for the King's inauguration this Saturday.
We will after the Petabalan, because this week is Mail Raja Raja, Petabalan, then next week I will adjust.
Teo, the former political aide to DAP politician Ian Yong Hian Wah, was found dead on July 16, 2009, shortly after being questioned by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC. On Monday, his sister Teo Lee Lan led a walk to Parliament dubbed the Walk of Justice. The event was organized by the Teo Beng Hawk Association for Democratic Advancement. The group intended to hand over a memorandum to the Prime Minister in person before being intercepted by police officers at the gates of Parliament. A smartphone believed to have belonged to Nur Farah Kartini Abdullah, who was found murdered on Monday, was discovered in a drain at an oil palm plantation in Kampung Sri Keledang, Hulu, Selangor. The device was recovered during a search by the Selangor Police Subaquatic Forensic Unit at 12:21 p.m. on Wednesday. On the second day of the probe, police and fire and rescue department personnel arrived at the location around 10 a.m. to search for evidence in connection with the murder investigation. The firemen were seen pumping water from the drain before the divers commenced their search. A metal detector was also used to comb the scene for evidence. After more than an hour, the divers managed to recover the smartphone. The 26-year-old suspect, who is also a policeman, was also brought to the scene to identify Nur Farah Kartini's smartphone. 3 police K9 unit dogs were also deployed to detect evidence around the oil palm plantation area. Selangor Police Chief Datuk Hussein Omar Khan later told the media that police are also investigating another location in Perak, about 20 minutes from the main location in the case in Kampung Sri Keledang.
Pada pagi ini kita berjaya menemui satu handphone yang dipercayai kepunyaan mangsa untuk bantu dalam siasatan ini. Ada lagi sehingga tim siasatan berpuas hati dengan semua barang yang ditemui, baru kita akan riliskan tempat kejadiannya. Yang saya boleh berkongsi ni handphone dan juga beberapa barang peribadi mangsa.
Farah Kartini's body was discovered in the oil palm plantation area around 6 p.m. on Monday. The 25-year-old woman had been reported missing since July 10th after delivering a rental car to a customer. Following the discovery of her body, the suspect, a Lance Corporal attached to the Slim River Police Station in Perak, who is also the victim's boyfriend, was arrested and remanded for 7 days to assist in the investigation under the Penal Code for murder. Meanwhile, Hussein said that police have recorded the statements of 26 witnesses to assist in the investigation of Farah Kartini's murder. He added that the witnesses included an acquaintance of the victim and a policeman, who is a colleague of the suspect arrested in the case. Regarding the motive of the murder, Hussein said the police were still investigating and authorities are still waiting for the autopsy report on the victim. The body is still at the forensic unit of Sungai Buloh Hospital, where several procedures need to be carried out, including a DNA test to determine its identity.
Ya, memandangkan kita ada masalah pengecaman melalui visual, kita akan buat pengecaman melalui forensik lah. Jadi kita akan ambil sampel daripada ahli keluarga, ibu dia dan adik-beradik untuk buat pengecaman sebelum mayat itu diserah kepada ahli keluarga.
He also said that it will take a few more days before the body can be released to the victim's family. However, police will ask the chemistry department to speed up the process involved. It is also understood that the victim's mother has provided a sample on Wednesday for the DNA test to identify the body.
Diving into the economic landscape of the Asia-Pacific region, exploring exciting opportunities for foreign investment in Malaysia, and the game-changing potential of Industry 4.0 technologies for local businesses. Money Matters with Ricardo Buletin of the World Bank Group's International Finance Corporation IFC, this Saturday at 5 p.m. on TV3 and stream on Tonton.
Eight individuals were arrested by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, for suspected corruption over protection for Alibaba-type businesses run by foreigners. The latest MACC raid was jointly conducted with the Kuala Lumpur City Hall, DBKL, on Wednesday around the federal capital, specifically in Bukit Bintang, which is also a tourist spot. Over 6 months' worth of intelligence activities by the MACC, it was revealed that various illegal activities in big cities nationwide were also protected by the authorities. All the suspects paid between 200 and 1,000 ringgit to several local authorities, described as protection, which also covers small-scale businesses, including hawkers and shops that are now monopolized by foreigners. Through the intelligence gathered, MACC found that local license holders were renting out their premises and business licenses to foreigners. In the crackdown, the MACC arrested 5 local citizens, 2 foreigners, and 1 permanent resident aged between 30 and 50. Kuala Lumpur MACC Director Datuk Muhammad Fauzi Hussein confirmed the arrests of all the suspects. All the suspects will be produced at the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court on Thursday. Probe was conducted under the MACC Act 2009. Malaysia, along with the world's largest importer of palm oil, India, will collaborate to counter the anti-palm oil campaigns from the West. Plantation and Commodities Minister Datuk Sri Johari Abdul Ghani highlighted that India is championing the growth and export potential of Malaysia's palm oil products.
Saya ingin menyarankan bahawa semua daripada pemain-pemain industri palm oil ini kena mula memikirkan soal pengeluaran kelapa sawit yang sustainable, kerana even India is looking into this sustainability.
Johari is in New Delhi leading the Malaysian Agri-Commodity Economic Mission to India to strengthen bilateral trade relationship and explore new cooperation opportunities. The country is the main export market for Malaysia's palm oil, followed by China. Last year, India imported 3.3 million metric ton of palm oil worth 13.3 billion ringgit from Malaysia. The definition of cyberbullying and its appropriate punishment, there is a need to re-examine both. Communications Minister Fahmi Fadzil said this when commenting on the maximum fine of 100 ringgit welfare home owner P. Shalini, who was linked to the death of influencer A. Rajaswari. Speaking to the media after a function in the federal capital, Fahmi stressed the importance of handling cyberbullying more effectively, emphasizing the necessity for clearer definitions and more substantial penalties.
Saya kesal dengan denda yang kita nampak begitu kecil, tapi saya difahamkan dari pihak Jabatan Peguam Negara ini adalah berdasarkan bukti yang telah dikumpul. Di sini seperti yang disebut oleh Yang Berhormat Gobind Singh Dio, Menteri Digital, Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Azalina, Menteri Undang-Undang, kita perlu teliti semula. Pertama, untuk takrifan cyberbully. Kedua, apakah denda yang bersesuaian.
Shalini was fined a maximum 100 ringgit by the Magistrates Court on Tuesday. Fahmi said for the second case of lorry driver B. Satis Kumar under the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998, the fine was 50,000 ringgit, which the minister described as quite significant. Satis Kumar had made and initiated transmissions of an obscene nature using communication services. Fahmi said his ministry has been reviewing numerous comments, including those on TikTok, where several influencers expressed dissatisfaction not only with the fine imposed on Shalini, but also with the offender's apparent lack of remorse for her actions. The United States Navy's 7th Fleet flagship USS Blue Ridge arrived for a port call in Port Klang, Selangor on Sunday. The visit marks the continuation of over 65 years of economic security and people-to-people relations between the US and Malaysia. Nightline's Muhammad Nadir Asfar Mazlan has the details.
The US Navy vessel arrived at Port Klang Cruise Terminal at 9:30 a.m. and was greeted by Royal Malaysian Navy RMN Inspector General Rear Admiral Abdullah Sani Ismail. During the visit, the 7th Fleet and USS Blue Ridge leadership will meet with their Malaysian counterparts to discuss matters of mutual interest, including on defence cooperation and maritime security. The last time the ship, which has over 1,000 crew members, visited Malaysia was in 2019 when the vessel made a port call in Kota Kinabalu.
The purpose of our visit to Malaysia is kind of to further and improve our relationship with the Malaysian people. We've had a strong diplomatic relationship since about 1957, and we are here now to continue to further that relationship and look for areas where we can work together. So we are extremely happy to be here today.
In addition, several programs have been lined up for the ship's crew members and the 7th Fleet staff to engage with the local community. They are also looking forward to immerse themselves in the local culture and enjoying Malaysia's sights and cuisines.
Yes, there's one thing in particular. I would like to try durian. Yes.
Did you try it last time?
I've only smelled it before.
Was it appealing at all? Was it appetizing to smell?
To me, I believe it must taste better than it smells. But I look forward to trying it.
So I'm excited to see the Petronas Towers. I've seen it all over social media. So I'm excited to see the grand sight of the towers and the importance of what that brings to Malaysia as well. Also excited to try the food. I've never really had the chance to try Malaysian food, so I'm happy to be here in Malaysia to try it first time in the country. So super looking forward to that.
It is hoped that the USS Blue Ridge visit to Malaysia will further enhance the ties between the US Navy and its Malaysian counterpart. Additionally, both sides will look to learn from each other, especially in terms of maritime security. Muhammad Nadi Asfar for TV3 Nightline.
Bangkok hotel murder suspect poisons others before taking own life. This and more from the Foreign Front when we return.
Naik pasal pagi, surut pukul 5. Hanya bangun pagi, sirai pakak bunga. Pokok bunga melutang tapi patah. Cik bertelur, ayam menetap.
Menarik MHI minggu ini.
Makan ulam?
Tak.
Rugi. Kita bawakan kepelbagaian jenis ulam.
Benarkah masalah mental ni ada perkara mistik?
Penagihan dadah adalah penyakit. Perlu dirawat, bukan dipenjara.
Premium Insurans Perubatan semakin meningkat, ketahui kaedah kopek untuk mengatasinya.
Dan istimewa persediaan istiadat pertabalan yang di-Pertuan Agong.
MHI setiap hari Isnin hingga Jumaat juga stream melalui tonton
hanya di TV3.
10 tahun tragedi menyayat hati MH17 ditembak jatuh.
Romeo November Delta Malaysia 17.
Misi dapatkan kotak hitam di medan perang. 298 penumpang dan kru gugur.
That is the time hit me the most. I cannot sleep.
Saksikan laporan khas memperingati sedekat MH17 di Buletin Utama TV3.
We're back with news from the Foreign Front. Thai police on Wednesday has identified Vietnamese-American Shuin Chong as the suspect, believed to have poisoned 5 others with cyanide at a plush Bangkok hotel before killing herself with the poison. According to the authorities, an autopsy of the 6 people found dead in the same hotel suite revealed traces of cyanide. The bodies showed traces of the rapid-acting poison and had purple lips, indicating a lack of oxygen, while more tests were still being conducted. Thai investigators came to the conclusion after questioning witnesses, and debt issues related to an investment are suspected to be the motive behind the deaths. Police are not considering other possible suspects, as Suite 502, where the bodies were discovered, had been locked from the inside, and no one else was found to have entered. On Tuesday, the 6 deceased, who were of Vietnamese descent with 2 carrying U.S. passports, were found dead in the living area and in the bedroom. Thailand's Constitutional Court said on Wednesday that it will hand down its verdict in a case seeking the dissolution of the opposition group Move Forward, the biggest party in Parliament, on August 17th. In a statement, the court has considered that there is sufficient evidence to make a decision on the case. The decision follows a separate ruling by the Constitutional Court in January, which stated that Move Forward's campaign to change the royal insult law was a hidden effort to undermine the monarchy. The court ordered the party to stop the campaign and did not call for any further punishment then. Move Forward Party was the surprise winner of last year's election, riding on urban and youth support for its progressive platform that included a once unthinkable proposal to amend the Least Majestic Law, which carries penalties of up to 15 years in jail for each perceived insult of Thailand's powerful crown. The Surakarta Legislative Council, DPRD, has accepted a letter of resignation from Mayor Gibran Rakabuming Raka on Wednesday, so he could prepare to take up his new role as Vice President in October. Its Speaker Budi Prasetyo said that according to existing rules, a mayor can resign upon their death on individual request or when certain conditions warrant their dismissal. In this case, he stated that Gibran has requested to resign on its own, and that the council is set to submit its decision to the nation's Home Ministry for final approval. Gibran tendered his resignation to the council on July 16th, accompanied by Teguh and Surakarta Secretary Budi Murtono. His term as Surakarta mayor was originally set to end early next year, prior to the inauguration of his successor as elected in November's 2024 regional head elections. As the French National Assembly prepares for its first session after snap elections, Greens party leader Marine Tondelier urged the left bloc on Wednesday to rally together to reach a consensus candidate for Prime Minister after more than a week of shameful discord. Tondelier expressed her anger and disgust at the situation, apologizing for the spectacle presented to the French people. She said she felt too ashamed to face voters while political rivals observed the left's failure with ease. After the surprise election win on July 7th, leaders of the leftist New Popular Front Alliance promised to form a government and name a prime minister quickly. However, no progress has been made, and the left is now focused on selecting a candidate for president of the new National Assembly, which convenes for the first time on Thursday. Nadal makes winning return. Sports when we come back.
Diving deep into the business world.
With expert insights and in-depth analysis.
The latest trends and developments shaping the country, region and the globe.
Key insights into finance.
On Money Matters.
Every Saturday at 5 p.m.
on TV3 and stream on Tonton. Sepuluh tahun tragedi menyayat hati MH17 ditembak jatuh.
Romeo November Delta Malaysian 17.
Misi dapatkan kotak hitam di medan perang. 298 penumpang dan kru gugur.
That is the time hit me the most. I cannot sleep.
Saksikan laporan khas memperingati sedekat MH17 di Buletin Utama TV3.
Menarik MHI minggu ini.
Makan ulam?
Tak.
Rugi. Kita bawakan kepelbagaian jenis ulam.
Benarkah masalah mental ni ada perkara mistik?
Penagihan dadah adalah penyakit. Perlu dirawat, bukan dipenjara.
Premium insurans perubatan semakin meningkat. Ketahui kaedah kopek untuk mengatasinya.
Dan istimewa persediaan istiadat pertabalan yang di-Pertuan Agong.
MHI setiap hari Isnin hingga Jumaat juga stream melalui tonton.
Hanya di TV3.
Sports tennis, the 2024 Swedish Open. Former world number 1 Rafael Nadal marked his return to singles tennis with a straight sets win over Leo Borg, the son of Swedish great Bjorn Borg, in the first round. Playing in his first singles match since the disappointment of a French Open first-round knockout at the hands of Alexander Zverev, the 22-time Grand Slam champion claimed his 8th win of the season with a 6-3, 6-4 victory over 21-year-old Borg to storm into the second round. The 38-year-old Spaniard, who won a doubles match with Casper Ruud on Monday, will next face 5th seed Cameron Norrie. Still on tennis, the 2024 Hamburg Open. Second seed Holger Rune opened his campaign with an easy straight sets win over Fabian Marozsan, who defeated him in the Miami Open earlier this year. Coming off a round of 16 showing at Wimbledon, Rune defeated the 24-year-old Hungarian 6-4, 6-4 to storm into the second round. Rune saved all 4 break points he faced, upping his season record to 26-14. The world number 17 will play Argentinian qualifier Marco Trungelliti next. Eleven arrested in immigration raids. The details after this short break.
Tengah cari idea nak buat konten Get Ready With Me ke tu? Tahu nak buat konten POV tengok award show? Semua tu korang boleh buat je di TikTok Awards. Dapatkan tiket untuk tengok TikTok Awards secara live di www.tonton.com.my sekarang. Beli cepat tau kalau tak nak FOMO guys. Dan of course dapat jumpa TikTok creator favourite korang nanti. TikTok Awards, realisasikan impianmu. Kekal cakna, kekal sihat. Hello Doktor merungkai pelbagai persoalan kesihatan anda.
Penyakit kronik, pemakanan, kesihatan mental, semuanya demi kesejahteraan anda.
Setiap minggu bersama tenaga pakar kesihatan terbaik Malaysia, segalanya terjawab dalam Hello Doktor setiap Ahad
5.30 petang di TV3
dan stream juga melalui Tonton.
Welcome back. The Negeri Sembilan Immigration Department conducted an early morning raid on a suspected illegal settlement near the forest in Taman Bandar Senawang on Wednesday. Its director, Kenneth Tan Ail Kang, said that during the 3-hour raid, a total of 69 individuals, including 8 women from Indonesia and Bangladesh, were inspected. 11 of them were arrested for offences under the Immigration Act. The offences include lacking valid passports and travel documents, as well as overstaying. The individuals, most of them construction labourers, have resided in the area for over 8 years, utilising allegedly stolen water and electricity sources and cultivating crops for personal use. Although action was taken against this location in 2009, it has since expanded. Those detained will be placed at the Lenggeng Immigration Depot for investigation and follow-up. Three enforcement officers allegedly involved in a passport renewal syndicate in Sabah were detained under a Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC operation in Kota Kinabalu on Wednesday. The suspects in their 40s and 50s were arrested as they were believed to have committed the acts since 2023 and allegedly received bribes amounting to 3,000 ringgit for every applicant. Initial investigations found that there were 100 applicants. The suspects were detained at the state MACC office under OpFly, which followed a month of intelligence gathering by the graft busters. The syndicate also forged the passport recipients' signatures and manipulated the system in relation to fingerprints. Sabah MACC Director Dato' S. Karunaniti confirmed the arrest and said the case is investigated under MACC Act 2009. adding that all suspects would be brought to court on Thursday for remand application. Draws to close this time around, we leave you with scenes of the vibrant atmosphere during Media Prima's Executive Union's Open Day, held at Sri Pentas on Wednesday. With that, I'm Liyana Hassanel. Thank you for tuning in and be well, Malaysia.